Up, guys? Welcome back to the Dunk Talk Podcast, episode 37. My name is Dylan Haugen, 5'11", 17-year-old dunker from Minnesota. Today I'm here with my co-host Hunter and a very special guest. So Hunter, introduce yourself and we'll get to our guest, guys.
Hey guys, Hunter Castona, 6'1" dunker from Wisconsin. And like you said, we have a very special guest in pro, Smoove. So, Smoove, if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dmytro Kryvenko from Ukraine, also known as Smoove. Smoove, Ukraine.
Yes, sir. So guys, we're gonna go through Smooth's journey today. It's gonna be a really fun podcast. So yeah, we'll just get right into it. So, while you're a kid, just starting to grow up, what were kind of like some of the sports you did growing up, just in general?
Um, I've done some, I think as a kid, I'm from the small, really small place in Ukraine, but we had many options to play sports. I played basketball since I was 6. Then I tried swimming, taekwondo, chess, volleyball, but nothing really amazed me so much as basketball. And also, sports is in my family. So my father is was playing basketball, but he's a professional chess player. My brother is a professional volleyball player, but he also played basketball, and that's the thing they had in common. My father and brother, they play basketball together on our like local team, and I'm like, okay, that's the sport I like. So yeah, that's why I started to play. My brother is like 8 years older than me, so when I was growing up, he was already dunking. I'm like, oh wow, I see Kobe Bryant on the TV, but I see my brother in real life dunking like one hand, two hands off the backboard, sometimes windmill. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's something I want to do.
Yeah, that's a really good background. So obviously, you kind of said that your brother introduced you to dunking. Did you have any other inspirations for dunking at that age, or what you just kind of more into basketball at that time?
Oh, at that age, I just wanted to play basketball, obviously, because it was like 1997. It's not. I mean, no, it was a Slam Nation dunking team, yes, but there is no internet like now we have. So I saw just a glimpse of Slam Nation somewhere. Then, like 5 years later, I saw End One mixtape tour. But back then, I was just playing basketball. I just saw NBA. I like LA Lakers, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan at the time. So, yeah, I was just trying to play basketball, just regular, organized 5-on-5 basketball. But dunking was always something spectacular, like something that inspired me more than just shooting hoops. Yeah, and I think the first highlights I've seen. So in Ukraine, it's also, let's not forget, I'm from Ukraine. We don't have basketball on TV. It's just we had the one program, one time a week, NBA Jam during that time, and they were showing like 25 minutes like recaps, and they had top 10 at the end. And at those top 10, I saw some guys like Kobe Bryant, like I said, like windmilling on a fast break or double pump on a fast break. I'm like, what the hell is this? I mean, it's so cool. So yeah, since the young age, I was introduced to dunking, but still was trying to play basketball.
So, when you were at that young age, were you ever involved in the low rim scene at all, or is it solely just basketball at the time?
Mhm. Solely basketball because I mean, low rim. Yeah, let me remember. So my home court has relatively like low rim. I would say the one rim was like 9'10", the other one like 9'8". Yeah, but for me as a kid, it didn't matter. Yeah, I was just shooting whatever rim I had. But at my school, we had the low rim, but it wasn't regulated. It's Ukraine, like it's like past Soviet times, so it's still like not really. It's a different time, so we didn't have regulated hoops. And yeah, when I had the hoop, like I don't know, like 7 feet, 7 feet hoop. Yeah, of course I tried to dunk. I tried to emulate the guys I saw on TV, but it wasn't nothing like today when you go to like low rim and you purposely try to do something, try to work on something. No, it was just for fun.
Cool, cool, bro. So yeah, just kind of talking about your basketball career, kind of through middle school and high school. Just how did that go for you?
Um, yeah, so in school, I was playing basketball, but also we have a little different system of education, like compared to you guys. So we don't have like like what to say, like elementary team, like middle school team, high school team. It's just yeah, I played for my school, but I didn't have any like major big tournaments. I was just playing basketball. I was more like a street ball player at the time, was trying to go to those like 3-on-3 tournaments. And yeah, my basketball journey basically started after school when I started to go into university. And after school, I didn't play at any like I didn't have a coach basically. So my brother was a coach, but I didn't have like a professional coach. But I went to the university that had a professional team. So it's not like here you guys have colleges, and after college you go pro. In Ukraine we have, so of course you play in like university league, but university can also be a professional team. So I went to university which has the professional team, and I tried out for it. And surprisingly enough for myself, they say, yeah, you're good enough. Like we like draft you to the second division of Ukraine, so pro league. I started to work out with them straight like street ball, nothing, no organized ball experience. So I started to play a little bit for my university team and working out with the pro team. Yeah, I did pretty well. Then I transferred to another university, played 2 years in second and the third league in Ukraine professionally. And at the same time, I started to do a dunk test because more and more 3-on-3 tournaments was happening in Ukraine, and every tournament had a dunk contest. And I think at that age, I was 16, 17, 18. I think I won all of the contests I took part in. So I had a good competition in Ukraine. So a few guys was doing like East Bays, I don't know, like rock the cradles, windmills of the backboard. They were doing something nice, but yeah, I think because I was young, like 16-year-old kid, not looking athletic and doing some nice dunks was always a favorite. So yeah, I won like I don't know, like 20 dunk contests during those 3 years. And then I was still trying to make it pro. I made it to the best basketball club in Ukraine, but to the second roster. So, for example, there's NBA, there's G League. So I made to the G League of the best team. But at the same time, I was also doing tricks. I'm still doing tricks. So I'm a like basketball freestyler also. So I'm like 3-in-1, player, dunker, and a trickster. At the same time, me and my friends who was also doing tricks, we got the invitation to Ukraine's Got Talent TV show. And I'm like, okay, let me try it. So basketball and a TV show. I don't know. We went to the TV show. We made the super final. So we went through like the first stage, second stage, then final, and made it to the super final. So if you were watching like America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, whatever, it's like it's a big journey. It's a lot of exposure on a national TV. And after that, I realized that, yo, I mean, we had a tour after that. I'm like, okay, I can make money doing tricks, doing dunks on the side, and compared to basketball, basketball is so much, load to your body. You need to practice twice a day. You travel with the team. You're playing. It's so much, and it's not that much of a fun as I'm doing like tricks on a stage on a TV. So I try. So at that time, at the age of 19, I guess, I switched more to show basketball, let's say. Tricks and dunks. I put it in the same category. Yeah, so and I think I'm still doing those 3-on-3 dunk contests, winning all the dunk contests in Ukraine. And then 2012, I got invited to the really big dunk contest in London because I was posting on YouTube all the time. I think Team Flight Brothers posted my mix of dunks like in 2009, I guess, in 2010. And the guy from London contacted me, invited me to the London Midnight Madness dunk contest, which was pretty big dunk contest at the time. Uh, Previous years, they had all the Team Flight Brothers, Golden Child, Worm, Guy Dupuis, every big name was at that contest. I'm like, oh yeah, yes, I'm coming. I'm definitely going to this dunk contest. So I went there. We went head to head with Young Hollywood from Los Angeles. He beat me. It was it was not fair. I won the contest, but he beat me. But I took the second place. And yeah, since then, the guy who invited me, he decided to start his own like sporting agency. He offered me a contract. I'm like, yeah, why not? I signed it, and the next thing you know, a year after, he formed a Dunk Elite team. So since then, we're at Dunk Elite, started to travel all together, still traveling sometimes. We're older now, but we still do it.
Yeah, super cool. Definitely want to get into that as well, but just kind of want to go back for a minute to kind of like your first dunk. So do you remember your first dunk and then kind of like what was the training leading up to that first dunk?
So the first dunk, yeah, like I said, my home court is like 910 and 98 rims. So I don't know if I can count those, as a first dunk. So I don't really remember my first dunk on 98. I don't. But I do remember my first dunk on 10 something because at my school the rims were higher than the regulation. And I remember at the PE class at the age of 14, I was close to 15, but I was still 14. Yeah, I grabbed the ball, no dribble, just jumped. Yeah, I didn't even don't even remember if I changed for a PE class or not, or was I in my regular clothes? I don't remember that, but still, yeah, no dribble, just jumped, basic dunk, and I was so happy because this rim was so high to me, like especially when you go in from 9'8" to 10 feet, 10 feet is like wow, so high, yeah, and I dunked it. I was so happy, yeah, age of 14. But then I came back to my street court to 9'8" and I had fun. I had fun. I think this year, after I made my first dunk, I hit like windmills, double pumps on a 9'8". So I started to work on my technique. So like in 1 year, when I jumping high, I can do everything on 10 feet. Uh, about the training, so I was playing basketball all the time, so I was in shape, but I also was doing a little bit of track. So I was athletic this way, and I'm a 1 foot jumper, so I run a lot of sprints. I was doing plyometrics a lot, so I think I was prepared, but nothing like specific. I wasn't doing anything specific like we do now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So was that the London contest like your first like really big contest or
Let's say the first is the contest that changed my career, I would say, because the
okay.
first big one was a year prior to that was in Moscow, Moscow Open. It's called 2011. It has like a massive contest. Like in it, we didn't have anybody from the US, from America in general, but we had like all the guys from all over Europe. I don't know if you follow. So there is a guy, Tijan Milic. So recently, he's like 42 years old right now. He's a Slovenian guy, and recently he started to train again. And at 42 years old, he did like 360 East Bay.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the guy who I faced in 2011 in the finals, and he was like what 30 years old at the time. I was 21. And again, like with Jan Hollywood, this is two of my favorite stories. We went to the super final. I made my dunk. Tian missed his dunk, but crowd chose him as a winner. I'm like, okay, okay, that's not fair. But that was the crowd decision. But yeah, I remember he came to me like, yo, man, I know, but I'm 30, you 21. Like probably it's over for me. My knee is done, but you're young, so you had a bright future. I'm like, okay. And it's crazy to me that now in 2024, he decided to come back at the age of 42. He does the same dunks as he did like 2011. So yeah, that was my first like big contest. We had like I think 15 participants, 2 rounds like of competition. So first round was elimination day, then like the second day, yeah, the final. So that was my big one. And I've done many, many contests prior to that in Ukraine. So I had my confidence going to London. But still, it's London. It's not Ukraine. It's not home. You're going there, it's different people you're facing against, like YouTube sensation, Team Flight Brothers star, Young Hollywood. So yeah, I was a little bit nervous, but I did well. I did well. I think this contest is still on YouTube. Yeah, it's still on YouTube on Team Flight Brothers page or somewhere else.
So going kind of back to your first couple contests in Ukraine, were you getting paid by those, or were those kind of just like exposure type of contests?
Exposure type of contest. Maybe I got paid like a little money, but nothing like you can consider like an income or some prizes, like I don't know, like a kettle to make a tea or something like that. Some funny stuff. Um, yeah, so no payments. I was making money of my freestyle performances, so my tricks. So yeah, that was my main source of income by the time. But I love dunking, so the dunk contest was my favorite one because it's only you. You can rely only on yourself. It's an individual sport. If you do good, you win. If you do bad, it's on you. You cannot blame anyone. So yeah, the exposure was good because I had a lot of videos I can post online. I can send to somebody to show like, oh, look at me, like I can do this, I can do that. And so off of that, they can invite me to some like bigger contest. That's how I got invited to this London contest because I had the videos on YouTube and the guy saw me. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you kind of are talking about posting on social media. When did you start kind of posting on social media, and then what impact do you think that that has had on your career?
So I started to post immediately after YouTube like was a thing. I think I created my channel in 2006. Yeah, and I posted my video right away. There was a content online contest. So when Rudy Gay was trying to compete in the NBA dunk contest, they ran a competition online. So we as fans could recommend some dunks to Rudy Gay to try it in the NBA dunk contest. Yeah, and I was like what 16 years old, but I still no 2007. Yeah, and I already had done some contests. By that time, I couldn't do nothing crazy. That's why actually I had my the passes underhand behind the back. I had another one that the ball laying on the ground. I throw it like yeah over myself. So I made a compilation of those passes. No, it was even one pass. So yeah, I uploaded the video in '07, and this video, this dunk, simple dunk, just a cool pass. It made like top 10 Rudy Gay's choices. I'm like, okay. So I go online, I see myself on the USA like sports websites, like top 10 dunks for Rudy Gay. I'm like, okay. I don't know if it impacted like my career, but it definitely grew my confidence. I'm like, okay, yeah, they like my dunks. I think I need to keep going. And I just enjoyed to make videos. I just enjoyed it and was still doing it. And I knew it is important because in dunking, like I was watching Team Flight Brothers, and I understand that there are so many dunkers we don't know about. We only know about dunkers that are on YouTube. So if you will show yourself, you will be ahead of those athletes who are better than you, but they don't do videos, they don't post. So people will see you. So maybe they better, yes, but people know you, and they will give you chance because they see you online. So yeah, I knew this is important, and I was doing it for like since '07, and I got monetized or whatsoever on YouTube like years and years later. I just knew it's important. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Just talking about like, posting is, really important and it can kind of push you ahead of some guys. So that's super cool. But yeah, so I know you were just talking about kind of the behind the back passes, like the game over pass or, whatever the proper name is for them. But kind of like, were you the first one to do those first of all? And then kind of like, how did you come up with those and start incorporating them into a lot of your dunks?
Of course, I wasn't the first one. I took those ideas from NBA guys. So in NBA, I saw, I think Sean Kemp. I saw him first do it in NBA dunk contest, but he did it like he did a sloppy pass. I didn't like how he did it, but I saw it first. And then there was a guy, Rex Chapman, and I can relate to him because he didn't jump high, but he used all those trick passes, to compete. He was still invited to the dunk contest. He did the dunk contest in college, I think, or somewhere, but then he did, I guess, two dunk contests in the NBA, and all of his dunks was like off the floor to the backboard, one hand. I'm like, okay, it looks good, looks good. The other guys doing windmills, 360s. He goes behind the back pass, one hand, 180. I'm like, that's fine. I mean, that's something. So even if you can do a two-hand dunk, you add those tricks, and it's like it looks way cooler. And I remember myself at the age of what, 15, I was doing two-hand dunks. And I'm like, okay, let me try under the hand pass, like this. Yeah. I saw it from the guy, Terrence Stansbury, also in the NBA dunk contest. I'm like, okay, let me try it first. I did it. Nice. Behind the back pass. Nice. All the other passes, like over myself, like from the floor. I saw a trick shot made by Harlem Globetrotters like this. I'm like, okay, let me turn this shot into a self pass. I did it pretty well. And yeah, after that, I'm growing. I'm getting more power, jump higher, and my friends telling me like try this pass and try a windmill. I'm like, I don't know, it sounds crazy, but let me try it. I tried it, did it. Nice. Windmill behind the back pass, pretty good. I can use it in the contest. And then some friend told me like try to throw it behind the back and go a bit between the legs. I'm like, it's impossible. I remember this conversation. I told me it's impossible. Nobody can do it. And then like let me try. Let me try. I tried it a few times. I was pretty close. I hit that and I'm like, yes, this is the dunk. And I think in 2009 in a dunk contest in Ukraine. So I tried it in the finals. I made it maybe fucking like from ninth try. I had nine tries, but I made it. It's yeah, it's on YouTube too, on some pages. I was super happy, yeah, with this, and I called it game over because at that time nobody can beat this dunk. It's definitely game over dunk. So that's why it's called like that. Yeah.
Yeah, super iconic dunk. Love that one. So obviously you've hit some insane dunks in your career. I know a few that I'm thinking of, but what would you say some of like your favorite dunks that you've done are?
Um, also like my favorite dunk in the contest. I would say might be the win reverse. When I threw the ball like this, yeah, and jumped. It was I made it first time in Hungary in the contest, first try. The reason I love it because I punched it so hard. So I was jumping super well this day. Threw it up, caught the ball very low, and like I'm turning 180 and I punched it. And I was surprised at myself. I landed. I'm like, wow, it felt just so good to hit this dunk. First try, not miss it, to amaze everyone in the crowd and amaze myself. So that was one of my favorite dunks in the contest, but the hardest dunk I made, it's obviously the kamikaze dunk. So yeah, like East Bay, whatever, with one hand. So that's an interesting story behind it because um, in 2015, we as Dunk Elite, we were at our Dunk Elite camp in Morocco. It was me, Lee Peck, Porter Maybury, Justin Darlington, and yeah, Christoph Dargais, and Jordan Kilgannon. And immediately yeah, after we got there, we started to talk with Jordan about some ideas because I'm also like a trickster, a freestyler. So you're like, okay, let's try to incorporate some tricks to dunks. So okay, show me some tricks, and I'm showing him some tricks we can think of to turn it to the dunk. There was another crazy trick we tried to do, but it's too much. And yeah, I showed him this one, this trick, which belongs to Japanese freestyler whose nickname is Kamikaze. I'm like, okay, let's try this one. And during this camp, we found like a super low rim, I don't know, like 7 foot rim, and I tried to do this dunk on that rim. It was impossible at first, but me as a freestyler, I got the move, so I know how to do it. I started to practice, practice, practice. At the end of the camp, I made it on a 7 foot rim. I'm like, okay, let me try it, go a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And then I decided, okay, yeah, I need to try it on 10 foot, on 10 foot. I think I spent like maybe 3 days trying to hit that because I felt like I can do it, but it always like ball slipped at the last second or it went too low, went too much to the side. So it was like millimeters um, like from hitting it. And yeah, after like maybe 3 days, I hit that. And it was such a relief because yes, I made in my life, it was like the hardest dunk in my life I made. And it was 2016. And years after, you see Jordan did it like 360. Because of 2 feet, it's easily to do this dunk 360. And Isaiah Rivera obviously did this too. Yeah, I would like to see their attempts like to do a regular dunk, not a regular kamikaze, so jumping straight, not 360. I think it will be harder for them. Yeah, just jumping up and do it. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty happy to see them doing it because I never done. I've tried kamikaze in a contest. I've tried kamikaze 180 in a final of the contest, and I
Oh, I
felt
just watched that.
pretty confident. I was confident that then I can do it. I actually like front rimmed it and not like not front rim it really bad. I'm like, yes, give me like maybe 5 more tries, which is impossible in contest. Like in 5 more tries, I'm doing it. But no, never happened, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was crazy close. I just watched that like yesterday. Actually, when I was in Utah with Jordan, we were low rimming, and he did do it like the regular way on like 7 feet or something like that. But yeah, it looks really weird. 2 feet, just like straight up like that. But it's definitely possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. Like, if you think, yeah, some of the
Definitely.
dunks were impossible like 10 years ago. Now you see even like Miller's bounce dunk he did. Like, okay, it was 9-10, but whatever. On 9-10, bounce dunk on 9-10. I'm sorry, yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah, feel insane. Yeah, at this time, you're obviously a pro. So, what were you doing? Like any specific jump training at this time, or were you just still kind of like dunking whenever you could?
So now, so last year I decided that I just want to stay healthy because I had a few knee surgeries. When I go extreme on my training, when I jump a lot, when I run a lot, when I put a lot of, pressure on my body, because I cannot, so I'm a basketball player too, and I can just dedicate my life just to dunking. When I'm in a great shape, I cannot stop myself. I play basketball, I do dunks, I do it at the very same time, and it's too much load on my body. And yeah, one surgery, okay, rehab, boom, I'm still in the shape, get back in the shape, doing dunk contest, winning it, doing one-on-one tournaments, winning it, boom, both knees are gone. I'm like, shit. Need both knees, to get cut to do surgery. After that, rehabbed, do it like again in shape, winning some contest. But I'm not the same anymore. I'm like, okay, I just need to stay healthy, just more for my further life. Just I don't want to have to be on a crutches, on a wheelchair like when I'm 40 years old. So last year I decided that I'm doing training just to remain some type of shape. I can still do I do dunks. I can still do like one of my best dunks, but I'm not that explosive as I used to be. And yeah, my training now is basic. So I do basic stuff, deadlifts, squats. I'm not really cycling it. So I don't do like different phases, different cycles. Try to be in shape, run some sprints. Yeah, but very basic one, very basic level. Yeah. And I almost cut basketball out of my schedule, so to not hurt myself. So I go twice a week to the gym, deadlifts, squats, whatever, like calves, work on my core, and I think I dunk once a week. Yeah, and preferably inside on a good hardwood floor to not hurt the joints and everything. Yeah. It's a little bit sad because I remember myself at the age of 22 when we did the tour. So we had a team, similar team to Harlem Globetrotters or whatever, like streetball teams in Ukraine. And we were touring. We had like 30 games in 30 days. And every single game I was dunking, freestyling, playing. I was doing dunks like twin legs in the game, like windmills in the game every single day. And I was okay. Nothing, nothing was bothering me. But now, yeah, I miss those times, but to be smart. So yeah, to still be able to jump and yeah, at time for
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, like you were talking about Dunk Elite earlier. Obviously we all see the content from Dunk Elite and stuff like that, but I don't think everyone fully understands what Dunk Elite really is. So if you just kind of want to, explain again how it started and then just what you guys do.
Yeah, Dunk Elite basically is a dunk team. Started in 2013. So, like I said, the agent, my friend now, so he started a sport agency. He signed me, then he signed Lipek, and then he signed a guy from Latvia, Kristaps Dargais. And in the end of the our season, so he was our manager, he was our agent for European dunk contest, for all dunk contests, but we were doing mainly like European dunk contest at that time. And the end of the season of 2013, he decided like to make a team. Okay, we'll make a team. I'm like, it's only three of us, but then he signs Justin Darlington and he signs Porter Mayberry. And next year, 2014, we're touring all together. So it's not a team only on the paper, it's a team in real life. So we were traveling together to a lot of shows, we were spending time together a lot, visiting each other's like houses and everything. So it was pretty good time. And the next year we also signed Jordan Kilgannon. Yeah, and I think there was like a dream team at that time for me because everybody had different styles in the team. So I would put it like this. So first team was Slam Nation in France, was amazing. I was a big fan. Then Team Flight Brothers at some point of history where when they were really a team. Now, obviously, it's just a page, and sometimes if you call Team Flight Brothers, they can offer you a show with some dunkers. But at that time, they really was a team. And then Dunk Elite, we also a team of dunkers. In 2016, no, we signed Jordan in 2015. My bad, yeah. So we had a camp together. We're doing shows together in Europe, in America, wherever, in China. So we're traveling, doing very good. Yeah, adding some more people, Jonathan Clark, Chris Staples, I think Jordan Sutherland. So many guys went through Dunk Elite. Now it's we all a little bit older now, have different lives, but still sticking together. So it's not a team anymore, but it's more like a dunk agency, let's say. So Dunk Elite still works full time as a how to say as a dunk contractor, let's say. So especially in FIBA contests, especially in FIBA contests. So yeah, there's Dunk Elite responsible for dunkers in FIBA and sometimes in other contests. So now I think the main stars in Dunk Elite is Miller, Gerald Henry, aka the Royal Guard, yeah, and some other guys.
Yeah, cool. I know you talked about London kind of being like your first big contest or, the contest that really took off your career. What would you say some of your other favorite contests or just favorite contest memories in general are?
So I think the best contest ever is Kings of Air in Latvia. So it's untouchable. It's like by far the best dunk contest in the world. Talking about the level of talent, the level of the organization of hosting. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys know this dunk contest, right? Kings of Air. So it started 2013. I went there. I thought it will be just a regular contest. I went there. It was only four of us, me, Kristaps, Justin, and the guy Slash from Poland. It was okay. Justin was the champion, but it was a good start. I'm like, okay, like a lot of people, they they do a great job organizing it. But next year we came back and was a totally different story. Like the introduction, the everything is just on another level. And the next year, 2015, we come back with like Kilgannon was there. 2016. Chris Staples, Kilgannon, everybody's there, and like the tank on the court, like the hosts riding the horses, the court. You're like, okay, what's going on? And the contest is taking like 3 hours, 3 hours, and it's a main event. In between the rounds, so first round, semifinal, and final, in between the rounds, you have like live performances. So singers, dancers. So you understand you're a main star of the day, and everything else is just to build the hype around you. Next year, 2017, the hosts flying on a helicopter, landing, going to the court, guys wearing the pilot's costume. So it's just crazy event. I hope they will do it again because they stopped at 2018, I guess. And I was talking to the guys, the organizers. They say we didn't know how to top ourselves, so we didn't know what to do, So that's why we stopped. But now there are some conversations to bring it back, and I think it's a good time because it's been like 6 years after the last dunk contest. The new generation of dunkers is here, so you will not see the same faces. So you will see some new faces out there. So it will be amazing. Yeah, so Kings of Air is one of the best ones. Obviously, also the FIBA. Let me put the FIBA World Cup. So FIBA World Cup, when the FIBA first 2016 in China, they introduced the dunk contest as the professional event where you can earn medals. obviously doesn't mean anything to, to dunking community. I went there, I got a gold medal winning dunk contest like I always do. So nothing really crazy to me. Uh, but the real difference is because I was wearing the Ukraine uniform. I didn't expect that, but I'm winning this. They giving me the medal, and I'm going back home, and I see it means something to the people back in Ukraine that they bring the gold medal back home. I'm like, okay, for me it was just a contest against some not even like not against the best pro dunkers. Okay, next time I won against GDP in the final, it was a different story, but still, that was one of the best experiences of my life because my people accepted me as a champion back home. It was great. But competition wise, what else? Let me put the third dunk test. Let me think of. So Kings of Air, obviously. Yeah, maybe Dunk King. Dunk King season two. I wasn't there, but it was a crazy collection of talent at the same place. But I think it was p poor organization by the TNT. We didn't have a really place to rest. We didn't even have, so it's a big hangar. In one hangar, there is a basketball court and a TV set, and the other hangar is just a warm-up court. In the middle of hangar, dust everywhere, and couple of chairs. It's not even like a couch to lay down, and there is no place to lay down. And you're out there from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., I guess, and you go there from 9 a.m. and prob so I was I was not happy about it. And unfortunately, I was in the second group, so I was dunking probably at like 7 p.m. I think. So from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. I was just, hanging around, don't know what to do. Obviously, there is a basketball hoop out there. You want to shoot, you lose your power, you go sit down, you warm again, you cold, warm, cold, and by the time you need to go on the court, you already like have dead legs. But it's me. It's me. Some of the guys from the first season were smarter. They just saved the energy. They were just sitting down or whatever. And the time when they were cold, they was just warm up real quick, went to do their dunk, yeah, and go back. So I think yeah, dunking was really amazing. That we had like how many? 32 dunkers or 24. So it was crazy amount of dunkers at the same place. Great conversations, great time together, great competition. Yeah, and then I hope like some TV or some like no, obviously Dunk League did almost the same, but I hope to see more of those TV shows dunk contests because it brings a lot of attention to dunking culture. Yeah.
What would be so kind of going along with some of the contests, who are some of your favorite people to compete against in your career? Um, just like over the years, basically, like you can maybe give like a top three or just like some of your favorite like rivalries.
Yeah, I think it's Lipek at first, because we did like so many contests against each other, and it's like one time I win, second time he wins, and like back and forth, back and forth. It was a great competition. Um, who else? I mean, it's not a rivalry, but I was really happy to beat Gidupi because he is, I think, the one of, if not the best dunk contest dunker of all time because he was just killing everybody. I won just because he missed, but it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I still won. Um, and I think who else? Who else? Probably I would say my friend Miller, just because we're friends, and when we go together on a trip, it's always fun. And in a contest, it doesn't matter who wins, we really support each other, and yeah, it just feels great. It just feels great. Same with Lipe, but but I think I don't know, like everybody was friends on a when you go to dunk. Everybody support each other. It's not a real rivalry. Maybe with GDP because GDP hates everybody when he steps on the court. Like off the court, he's a great guy. He's making jokes and everything. But when he's on the court, he tried to destroy you mentally and and physically, let's say. So yeah, that top three, let's say Lipe, BGP, and Miller. But obviously, there are many guys who I loved competing with.
Yeah. So kind of going along with the shell ball thing, you're not, I know you're doing something similar now, but kind of what was the Harlem Globetrotters like for you?
Can you say it again, please?
Sorry, I was just saying, I know you're kind of doing a similar thing right now, but what was the
Oh,
Harlem Globetrotters experience like for you?
yeah, Harlem Globetrotters was a great experience, but I think the my so I was already a little bit old to this type of experience. Old in terms of my health, I think, because I always wanted to be a globetrotter because it's everything I do: tricks, dunks, playing basketball, and have fun. And I was trying to make the team since like 2012, I guess. I was emailing them, trying to get a tryout. No. And after I had like the really bad knee injury, and I got a surgery in 2018. I just got back to my kind of shape 2019, and I got the call from them and like, do you want to try out? I'm like, okay, it's a perfect timing, but yeah, I'll go. I tried out, I did some tricks, they signed me, and but they know that I'm a dunker. They signed me right after the dunk contest in Japan when I went against Isaiah Rivera in FIBA, and when I did my behind the back pass to a dribble win. I still don't know how I did it because I jumped like really bad, but at that time because I was still rehabbing from the surgery. And I did it. The clip went viral, and the Globetrotters like, "Yo, you need to do this dunk in a game." I'm like, "No, guys. I mean, it's impossible. For me. They're like, "What do you mean? I need the proper warm up. I need to, this like one kind of the dunk. You need warm up." I'm like, "Okay." Now I see. Because yeah, the Globetrotter guys, they are like X-Men, they're like mutants. I don't know what they do, but some of the guys are fresh out of college. And during my tour, I tried to dunk during the games, but I was so fatigued, I barely could dunk like two hands, reverse, 360, that's it. But the guys, every single day, I'm throwing an alley-oop and they're like, no, throw it right there. Throw it like to the side. Throw it higher. I'm like, are you sure? They're like, yeah, test me. I'm like, okay. And they still catching it. They still catch and full windmill. Yeah, so there's a different type of dunkers, different type of athletes, not the pro dunkers, but pro athletes, pro basketball players, which are like ready at all times and young. I'm like, yeah. But my experience was I was doing tricks. I was happy about it, but my season was cut by the COVID. COVID happened 2020, and I went back home. Then I stuck in Ukraine. Next couple surgeries, then a war, and yeah, my Globetrotter story is over. But now I'm on a Harlem Wizards, basically doing the same. I had a game last night. I having a game today. With in my team today will be Jonathan Edwards, John Killer John, who just went to the FIBA 3x3 dunking test. So yeah, it's still fun. I'm still doing tricks, throwing lobs to John. Sometimes I'm dunking too when I feel like, but yeah, mostly tricks.
Yeah. So no, I assume you lived in Ukraine most of your life.
Mm.
I assume you lived in Ukraine most of your life.
Yeah. I lived most of my life. I didn't want to move out from out there because I really enjoyed. It's my people, my family out there. It's obviously my
Yeah.
home. Uh, yeah, and I was happy to live in Ukraine and travel abroad for a week and then come back, where you live. It's a best feeling. You go somewhere, compete. gain like get those experiences from visiting the countries, but then you go back home and yeah, there is a family, those warm feelings. Yes. But unfortunately, the war happened and yeah, I had to make a choice. And now I'm living in the United States of America, waiting for my green card. Guys, give me my
Mhm.
green card.
Yeah. How's it been so far over here?
Now it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm in Texas. I live in Texas, so yeah, I've seen Sir Isaac. I've Did I dunk with him? Yeah, I dunk with him, I think, couple times. Yeah, I went to New York, dunk with some of the guys in New York, in LA. So yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. Yeah. And I'm touring right now with the Wizards in New Jersey and New York area. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you've traveled a ton to compete. What would you say like some of your favorite places that you've been are just in general, not even necessarily for dunking?
No, favorite places. I think England is first, London. Not only because there was my first contest, but I'm also a fan of I don't know, like Harry Potter, Sherlock Holmes series. So for me, it was just amazing to visit those places. China, because it's so different. It's a different world, and people see you as a superhero when you're like a white, tall, relatively tall dude. But when you're black and tall, it's even better for them. So it's a different crazy different world out there. And yeah, what other places? And Europe, I love Europe so much. So Europe is so diverse, so different, so many countries next to each other, and you get to experience so many different cultures just within like 2 hours of drive. Today you're in Poland, tomorrow you can drive to Czech Republic and Germany, Netherlands, and yeah, all of the other countries are super great. So if you ever have a chance to go to Europe, don't hesitate and go and also visit Ukraine sometime.
Definitely, bro. Yeah, just kind of talking about where you are right now physically, with your dunking and all that, and just kind of what are some of your goals for the rest of your career?
Physically, I would say I'm in an okay shape. Um, maybe just recently we had a session with Miller and Andy in Austin. I pulled a muscle, I hurt my finger, so yeah, it's really hard to jump right now during the tour. The first time in my life happened, so I always dunk like always like this. But somehow I dunked 360 and my thumb was like this, and I dunk with my thumb hitting the rim. So it was swollen like 3 times bigger. I'm like, damn, how did it even happen? And the funny thing, the next day, Jordan Kilgannon texts me like, "Yo, I'm in Texas. Come jump with me." I'm like, "Okay." We went to Houston. Still, I went to see him. Me and Miller went to Houston. I tried to jump. I couldn't. I just made a basic dunks, but I was Miller killed it. Miller killed the dunk session. He just went there like a 5 minute warm up immediately. Bam, bam, bam. J reach, under both, windmills, between the legs. I'm like, okay. Yeah, and Jordan was flying. I was happy to see CJ. Yeah, it was a great day. It was a great day. So, but still jumping good. I mostly jumping on 9-10 rim. That's actually a funny thing. All the dunk sessions I've done in my life, I almost never was jumping on a 10-foot rim because I basically just cannot find the energy to push myself to 100% every single session. So I basically go 9-10, 9-11 on the dunk session. And in the contest, I do the same on 10 foot just because of the energy of my desire of adrenaline. It's not even adrenaline. If you get the adrenaline, you can go 10-2 and do the same dunks, but it's just the desire to jump. So yeah, I still do dunk sessions on 9-10, 9-11. Still can do my dunks. I recently did behind the back pass to behind the back dunk, which is just amazing to me. I've done it maybe a couple times. First time in 2012, so it's 12 years later. I still did it. So pretty good shape, pretty good shape. And my goal is to stay healthy, maybe win another contest. And yeah, I never measured my vert. My goal is to measure my vert and to not be disappointed. That's my goal.
So kind of going along with you being in the US now, obviously I don't know if you've seen there's a lot of like dunk teams and just a lot of just people trying to have sessions all over the US. Would you try dunking with like a lot more people over here now that you're living here? Or are you gonna try staying like more in the Texas area and like when you're traveling with the Wizards?
No, I would like to jump with other guys, of course. I mean, I would love to. It's just I also have a family, so I'm not the free man as I'm used to be. Uh, but yeah, I saw the guys in California. Where else? I mean, SoCal, how it's called. I mean, yeah, California Dunkers. What else? North Carolina, I think they have a group. So yeah, I follow everybody. I follow the dunks, so I know what's going on. I hope to make it to the dunk camp because I've been to dunk camp in Utah, but just like I just went there just to say hi and went to my to do my events. But I still want to attend the dunk camp like 100% to be there to maybe to talk with somebody, maybe to help somebody with some technique or just to jump to have fun, because dunk camp seems like a lot of fun to me when I see the videos and when I was there. Yeah, it's just great. So for sure I will be, but it's easier to me to dunk with somebody in Texas, obviously. I try to grab everybody who's in Texas and put them in the same place. So just recently I met the guy. His Instagram is Jump Science. Yeah,
Yeah, Dan.
yeah, and
Dan.
yeah, and his friend Tim. I met them in the gym, and it's funny. I was in the gym. I just lifted, so I've done some deadlifts. I go, I'm like, okay, I have like 10 more minutes. I go to shoot some hoops. I'm shooting and I see two guys on the other rim trying to dunk, let's say. I mean, they're trying to do some simple dunks, then they like, okay, doing 360s and everything. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And the other guy tell me like, yo, let's go play them 2-on-2. We play 2-on-2. Um, I'm warmed up. I get the ball. I go behind the back, pump. And Jump Science goes to me like, "Yo, do you know who's the guy? Do you know who Smoove Ukraine is?" I'm like, "Ha ha ha!" Like, yeah, I thought he was joking because yeah, he recognizes me. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, of course I know him." Blah blah blah. Then he goes back, opens his phone, like, "Shit, you are Smoove Ukraine." I'm like, "Yeah, that's how we met with the guys in my gym." And yeah, since then we're in contact and we're trying to make like a big dunk session happen. So now in one gym we can get like 5 to 6 guys who are like who are into dunking, which is already amazing. Dunking by yourself is not fun. Dunking with your friend, with Miller, it's fun, but when you have 5 people with the same passion is amazing. So yeah, hopefully we can make something happen in Austin area. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's super funny. Me and Hunter can both attest to dunk camp being the best week of the year. So it'd be super cool if we could see you there next year. But yeah, if you're ever in Minnesota or Wisconsin, hit us up because we'll be definitely down to get a session. But yeah,
Is it snowing out there?
it hasn't yet. Actually, it
Yeah,
did
not
one
yet.
time, but there's nothing right now.
I haven't
But
seen snow yet, so he's a little bit more north, so he gets a little bit more than me. But yeah, I mean, we'll probably pretty soon we'll probably be
we'll
getting
be seeing some
some
soon.
snow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Sometimes I miss snow in Texas. I mean, in Ukraine we have 4 seasons. In Texas you have one season. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that wraps up the podcast, guys. Super fun episode. Seriously, dude, thank you for doing this. It was a pleasure talking to you and meeting you. Yeah, if you guys want to go check him out, what's your Instagram?
my name is Smoove Ukraine on Instagram, on YouTube, on everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, definitely go check it out if you haven't already. I'm sure most of you already know him, but yeah, again, thank you, man, for doing this, and we'll see y'all in the next episode. See you.
Thank you guys. You're doing a great job. Keep doing it. Yeah, I hope to see more people on your podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. So it's really cool to just like obviously we're starting to get more of the older generation and hearing their stories, which I think a lot of guys haven't heard before. So it's just really cool to just talk and just talk dunking. So,
Yeah.
but
Hey guys, see you.
yeah, see ya.